Ratish Yoganathan, entrepreneur, co-founder and chairman of the Labara Group, Kingston graduate. I'm not an entrepreneur. I don't consider myself to be a businessman at all. I'm just very good at running things. James Khan, entrepreneur, former Dragon and the Dragon's Den, chairman of the UK government startup loan scheme, which supports entrepreneurs with funding and mentoring to start their own business. Just because you happen to be the head of a company, or senior director, or managing team, it doesn't mean you have to be perfect all the time.
Family business, and like a lot of Asian families, there was this natural assumption that I was going to join the family business. And he had a textile business, and for some strange reason that's not really where I saw my life, working in a factory. So I said, Dad, thanks for the offer, it's really very kind of you, but actually I think I'd like to do something for myself. In that business is that there's a concept that people believe that businesses and products is what creates success. And I came up with this crazy illusion that actually it isn't about the business, it's actually about people. I believe it's people who create success. So what I look for is, the question is, why does this person need to be successful? And to me, that's a question that I think is so important, because just because you want to make money does not mean, to me, you'll be successful. I think there has to be a genuine burning desire within you.
He bases his success around his ability to analyse his strengths and weaknesses, playing to his strengths and finding people to complement those weaknesses. Students were able to analyse their own leadership capabilities during the academic year, finding their own areas they needed to improve in personally. These leadership capabilities were broken down into 5 different categories, which include intellect, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and emotional stability. Kaleem scored low on emotional stability. By scoring low, Kaleem is less likely to be willing to make sacrifices which potentially could hinder his chances of becoming successful.
After learning my leadership capabilities, especially in areas where I was lacking in, such as emotional stability, this meant that I wasn't open to taking risks as much as I thought I first was. Knowing this helped me a lot when it came to my startup a business module, where I had to create a new business and a product from scratch, working in a team of 5. I was able to make more risky decisions which I might not have made before, because it was out of my comfort zone. We ended up coming up with a range of stick-on lipsticks, which was really risky because none of us had any personal experience in that area before. We ended up selling 30 units within the first 2 hours of trading.
Leadership and management not only helped Kaleem co-start his own business, it also helped Umar on a professional level as well in his personal life.
Completing the IPIP test, I came across my most valuable strengths and my most limiting weaknesses. Now these 5 skills were developed to measure the big 5 factors. Out of the 5 factors, I had scored a top score of 50 for extroversion and 28 for emotional stability. I kept the leadership capability scores in the back of my mind, and this helped me subconsciously make more risks but overall better decisions in my day-to-day life. Now research shows that extroverts are associated with leadership. Since they are more likely to assert themselves into groups, they tend to take on leadership roles when working with others. So I applied this to my work and I excelled. I gained a promotion within 4 months, and I now manage a team and I have the highest success rate in the business.
We learned that you don't need to have $1 million plan from the get-go. Our ideas can develop and result to most of us becoming entrepreneurs as successful as Richard Branson. At the end of the day, every large corporation that exists today started off as a small company, started by an ordinary person just like us. Just apply one simple method, the effectuation method. The effectuation method taught us in order to make it, you just need to use what you know and who you know to develop any venture. So networking is key. From that, you can create contacts that may be potential stakeholders to support your project, but don't get carried away. Only invest what you can afford to lose. As we all know, every venture is a risk. So when you have an idea, don't keep it a top secret. Get talking and build your contacts.
Attending KU talent events can help you by boosting your entrepreneurialism. These events can actually provide you with useful information that can provide a foundation for us to become entrepreneurs ourselves. From attending the Funding Your Startup workshop, we learnt that most students view finance as the main barrier for starting up a business. But did you know that 1.9 billion has been invested in 18,000 startup businesses since 2009? It's an amazing amount, to be honest. And from listening to entrepreneurs such as Simon Holm, who started Card Connection, he explained that he started his own business after graduating through the use of government schemes and startup loans. So this shows us that finance can be easily accessible when starting a business, but it's important to have a well-structured and efficient business plan to gain access to these. He also explained that the success of a startup business depends on having a good team and a good idea. He also explained that the most important factor is the people on your team. This is because you need to have determined people on your team in order to achieve the same goal.
In the world of business, to be a great leader, it's all about the decisions you will make, as they will affect your company's performance. It is crucial that in such a volatile, uncertain, complex and ambiguous business environment, decision-making has to be swift and well thought out. According to Evans' 2008 Jaw System Process Theory, we are capable of carrying out decisions on two different levels. System 1 consists of making decisions impulsively and require minimum brain processing, whereas System 2 requires a slow process before reaching a conclusion to a decision. This process is more analytical and well calculated. According to guest speaker Andy Corks, a former student at Kingston University and is currently UK's head of deal advisory for the energy sector at KPMG, he discussed about the difficulties in decision making and the process that a leader goes through before making a decision. This example explains the essence of having a balance between the two systems, as they go hand in hand in such a VUCA environment. So, to have an advantage in such an environment, you ought to have better vision, understanding, clarity, and agility as a leader.
In spite of the increase in percentage of female leaders in the recent years, the majority are still of male leaders. We learned that the glass ceiling is invisible, but a real barrier through which the next stage or level of advancement can be seen, but cannot be reached by a section of qualified and deserving employees. Such barriers exist due to implicit prejudice on the basis of age, political, or sex. Stereotypical roles that are played out in childhood usually influence an adult's behavior and characteristics, including their interpersonal and leadership style. Finally, we learned that the implicit association test measures attitudes and beliefs that people may be unwilling or unable to report. For example, you may believe that women and men should be equally associated with science, but your automatic association could show that you, like many others, associate men with science more than you associate women with science.
In leadership and management, I've learned that every step you take in life defines you as a person. Your responsibility is to learn from your mistakes and don't be afraid of failure, because each experience teaches you the importance to succeed in life. You should learn to accept both failure and success and view each obstacle as a stepping stone to the latter. Don't be disappointed by what you are not able to accomplish. Move on to the next thing you're passionate about and make the most of it. Do what you love and challenge yourself.
Created using Powtoon.
Hi, my name is Shola. I'm here with Nav. As a group in 2014 autumn, we went to various entrepreneur speeches at the Kingston Hill campus, and these are our thoughts.
name is Nav, and I'm going to be talking about the founder of Libara. Yoganathan Rathesen is the co-owner and founder of Libara. He achieved this by the age of 25. With just finishing university and working at the same time developing on Libara, these traits of motivation are required to be a successful entrepreneur. In the early working days of Libara, he would go to servers and buy minutes and would then sell them to pay the servers back. Yoganathan built strong relations with the servers, displaying effectuation as he used the resources available to him to reach his aim of multicultural international calling.
Yoganathan graduated from Kingston University, enriched in learning and life. He used what he had learned in the university combined with passion about how to create a business. The aims of Libara include transforming the international calling market by providing ethnic and migrant communities with high quality low cost solutions for keeping in touch with family and friends. This is a trait of an entrepreneur. Yoganathan had identified an issue in his own life, which is a starting point for developing a business. Often these individuals do not have the banking, so selling credit in stores is crucial to improve the availability of the products. This is a benefit of Libara to its customers. So Nav, what did you learn from the talk?
What I learned from Yoganathan Rathesen was how important it is to be motivated when carrying out business, no matter how busy you are. Finance should also never be an excuse. Although he wasn't well off financially, he used the networks and relationships he acquired to develop this. So Shola, what did you learn?
I learned to be a successful entrepreneur will require passion. You must use previous learning and interest to stimulate his passion, because once you have a good knowledge and genuine interest, there is no limit to the potential success you can achieve.
Hi, I'm Tom.
My name's Nick.
I attended a KU talent event run by Malcolm Levine, a personal branding and development coach called The Power of One. The talk focused on how you can significantly improve your business by improving the people in it, as well as personally developing yourself.
Malcolm spoke about certain individual skills that are necessary as an individual of a business. His most valued concept was authenticity, whereby you ask others for advice and help. This is crucial in developing your personal image.
I learned that effective leadership and management of individuals in your business will make it successful. Highly effective people equate to better business. By showing your employees that their contribution is worthwhile, it can make them more engaging, positive and effective.
Malcolm can be seen as a risk taker due to his early career in New York. His move to New York in his early 20s was the base around his career. He learned that this idea around the 3 Ps, which are persistence, perseverance and patience. This has carried forward his decision of personal branding to businesses and individuals seeking assistance.
The talk also linked with the lecture we had on personal branding with regards to understanding your brand and communication skills. Recognising your assets and weaknesses allows you to take responsibility and improve upon them. Developing your communication skills in person and online can add to your brand and improve your leadership capabilities.
Hello, my name is Asad. The event I went to was James Khan. At the age of 16, he left his parents' business, which was a leather business, to go and run his own business or work for someone else. He was a huge risk taker, which shows he is a good leader and entrepreneur. He mentioned in a quote, "Success isn't a destination, it's a journey in which failure is part of the journey." This shows that his motivation was extremely high, and as a leader, he's just looking to strive forward. In 1991, he had a barrier with his employees in which he mentioned he will not pay his employees for 2 months. His employees were completely fine. This shows that being honest, trustworthy and ethical could lead you towards success. He had small objectives in which he used to set for himself. The first objective was to go and find a business with a good location. The second objective was to go and find a business with a window. The third objective was to go and find a business partner who would lead him on. Overall, what I've learned from this scene is that he's extremely motivational, and without motivation, you will not be successful.
Thank you for watching.
Leadership, one word with its own field of study. How hard is it to explain one word? If we take the Oxford Dictionary definition, which defines leadership as the action of leading a group of people or an organization, or just the ability to do this. But can leadership really be summed up that neatly? This video will explore and clearly explain leadership and management in context. Leaderships are essential in organizations as it is the lifeline of business. Different leadership styles are needed and are used when working on the business's brand, ethics, corporate social responsibility, entrepreneurship, decision-making and last but not least gender equality. List can go on to cover every function of a business. So what makes a success when dealing with leadership in business? It is experiences, personal characteristics, reputation among employees, behavior, positive outcomes and policies for company, tenure as CEO, or are you just born a leader, and how do you avoid being a bad leader? There are some companies that are surrounded by employees that are confused about their responsibilities. So how can a leader improve performance? Leaders are an intrinsic part of organizations' decision-making and need to have the ability to understand situations and act quickly and efficiently to resolve the problem. So here is the question. What makes a good leader? Trust between leaders and employees will build an environment where all coordinates can develop and will lead to the completion of work. Effective communication is where all employees are working in teams and negotiate with each other to produce the best they can provide. Communication is being able to express your ideas and opinions confidently. Commitment will build an environment where all employees will trust each other. Employees may be unwilling to take risks because they do not know whether the organization supports creativity. Listen to your employees will make them feel valuable. Enhancing employee motivation contributes greatly to greater employee productivity. Ethical leadership is important as it influences the employees profoundly. CSR refers to the measures which organizations take in order to reduce their environmental footprint and ensure that they are operating as efficiently as possible and with as little harm as possible to the environment. CSR has become an important concept in leadership. It has become increasingly popular to the point it being compulsory, which is reflected through legislation. More and more people agree that in order to operate a successful business you need to consider wider implications on the environment and how it is affected by increasing CO2 emissions, causing disruption to ecosystems and leading to rapid changes in the weather. There is also a growing consensus which also regards the exploitation of the workforce as a CSR problem. Sustainability is one such process which is defined as being the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. James Caan, he was an inspirational speaker in the event because of the way he expressed himself to his audience. He talked about starting from nothing and not allowing his background to stop him becoming what he is now. His ability to reach where he is today was done through goals which were small in magnitude but accumulating in size as he achieved and moved on to his next goal. His failures and success are what speak volumes for his leadership capabilities and style. The fact he had more failures than success shows he takes risks and is resilient. Rati Sanjoganathan, he is a Kingston alumni who had no money to start a business with his friends. His solution was to sell calling cards to individual businesses to raise capital. This shows he was determined to achieving his end goal. While Yoganathan passed and his achievements are exciting, his talk was not as rememberable as Caan's.
Hello and welcome back to Leadership Skills Network. I'm Claire and I'm here to teach you how to be a good leader. We're going to talk about sustainability, diversity, entrepreneurship and other leadership skills. I'm joined here by Tom, the inventor of the curved nail file. Hello Tom.
Okay.
Your business has turned over 1 million in the last year. How have your leadership skills contributed to this success?
Well Claire, at the moment we've recruited over 200 new employees from different backgrounds and different cultures. That's really helped our team to come together. I feel that diversity plays a huge part in our business, and today we've got many training plans we've put together for staff, various motivational speeches to inspire and motivate our staff today.
At the moment, the society is very concerned about the environment. How does your business fulfill its CSR objectives?
Well Claire, at the moment our company is very environmentally cautious. All our packaging is kept to a minimum. All our products are made from recycled materials, and we've got a great and exciting corporate commitment of donating 5p from every product sold to our known charity.
Okay, great. Thank you for joining us today.
One definition of leadership is the behaviour of an individual directing the activities of a group towards a shared goal. At the KU Talent, we've learned that different personality behaviours influence an individual's capability and effectiveness in leading their team and influencing all other stakeholders. There are charismatic, ideological and pragmatic leaders. Charismatic leaders are likely to have a strong need for power, high self-confidence and conviction in their own beliefs and ideals. There are many leadership behaviours that explain a charismatic leader influences the attitude and behaviour of followers. Some include articulating an appealing vision, using strong, expressive forms of communication. In my opinion, a leader must have a lot of knowledge in their field, confidence, passion and self-sacrifice in order to be effective. We have also learned at the KU Talent that leaders must listen and consult others when making decisions in order to motivate their employees. If all these traits are achieved, power and authority should follow.
Here's a short clip of a charismatic leader.
And dying! I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's gonna win that itch. And I know if I'm gonna have any life anymore, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that itch. Because that's what living is. The 6 inches in front of your face. Now, I can't make you do it. You gotta look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. Now, I think you're gonna see a guy who will go that inch with you. You're gonna see a guy who will sacrifice himself for this team because he knows when it comes down to it, you're gonna do the same for him. That's a team, gentlemen. And either we heal now as a team, or we will die as individuals. That's football, guys. That's all it is. Now, what are you gonna do?
This is an example of bad leadership skills in the workplace.
Hello, boss. Good afternoon, staff. Due to globalization and our employees working in different time zones, we are forced to change your work contracting shifts from 9 to 5 to 12 to 8.
I can't do that. I have to pick up my children from school.
That's unfair, boss. Why don't you consult us? Well, it was a managerial decision. You have no say in it.
This is an example of good leadership skills in the workplace.
Hello, boss. Good afternoon, staff. Due to globalization and our employees working in different time zones, we are thinking of changing your contracted shifts from 9 to 5 to 12 to 8. How do you feel about this?
I can't do that. I have to pick my children up from school.
Well, I'm sure if you can work adequately enough from home, we'll be able to implement this change. Jason, how do you feel about this? Yeah, I'm fine with that. Thank you for consulting us.
That is the end of today's lesson. We hope you have learned some valuable skills that you will use today and in the future.